accept the Nobel Prize for Peace at a moment when 22 million Negroes of the United States are engaged.
Modern man suffers from a kind of poverty of the spirit, which stands in glaring contrast to his scientific and technological abundance.
Good morning. We have come here today to pay tribute to the Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King, an American hero. Let us spend this morning reflecting on how he lived his life, demonstrated his purpose, and served mankind. Let us now begin the celebration. Let us now begin the celebration. Let us now begin the celebration. I present to you now our Master and Mistress of Ceremony, Justin Fuller and Christian Akridge.
Thank you, everyone, for attending today's celebration. It is a great honor to be here with my classmate as Master and Mistress of Ceremonies. We're going to kick off today with the spectacular voices of the Oak Park High School Choir under the direction of Mrs. Zaprowski.
And the rock is red glare, the Thank you, choir and Mr. Zaprowski, for those inspirational songs. Now we will hear from Mr. Trumpeter, who will introduce all of the dignitaries who have come to celebrate Dr. King.
It's my pleasure to introduce some dignitaries who have given up their morning to join us in celebrating the life of Dr. Martin Luther King. First, the Mayor of Oak Park, Mary McClellan. State Representative Robert Wittenberg from the 27th District. Mr. Jackson from Senator Peters' office. And our Board of Education, Misty Patterson, our President. Menachem Hoyda, our Vice President. Mildred Warren, our Secretary. Maxine Goodfriend, our Treasurer. Marie Reynolds, Trustee. Claudette Lunkins, Trustee. And Mr. Albert Smith III, Trustee. And Ms. Nancy Quarles, Oakland County Commissioner. Again, we want to thank everybody for coming this morning and giving their time in this very important day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Trumpeter, for the presentation. Again, it is really great to see that so many important people have come out today. Dr. King left an inspiring legacy for all of us to live up to. As Dr. King said, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. So let's get ready to hear from OPPA and OPFI, Voices on Inspiration.
What you gonna do when your back's against the wall? How you gonna smile when it seems the hope is lost? Tell me what you gonna do when you need a little more grace. How you gonna smile when they try to test your faith? Hang on in there. Hang on in there. What you gonna do when your back's against the wall? Song will you sing? What song will you sing? Song will you sing when you see the hope is lost? Tell me what you gonna do when you need a little more grace. Oh, how you gonna smile when you try to test your faith? Hang on, hang on. Nobody's got you when you say that. Through all your struggles, through all your problems. What you gonna do when your strength gets a little weak? Oh, song we sing when you feel it income. Tell me what you gonna do when you try to almost slip? Oh, what you do when it's easy to lose your grip? Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. Oh, hang on.
You gotta hang when your back's against the wall. You gotta hang when it seems the hope is lost. See, I'm a witness will hold you up, and in the process, fill your cup. So I'm not worried, I'm not scared. I'm going to church like my teacher said. This a message to the devil, you can't have my faith. And we go make Papa his way. You gotta hang.
Those songs were amazing. Thank you. We will now hear from the Oak Park School Board.
It is my pleasure and honor to welcome you on behalf of the Oak Park Board of Education. This is our wonderful annual Dr. Martin Luther King celebration. It is important that we pay tribute to our heroes, those persons who have made an impact in our lives here in the United States. And in the case of Dr. King, he made an impact on people all over the world. We must continue to remember his dream for our nation and the price he paid so that we might achieve equal rights for all people. We have an opportunity to spend time this holiday to help someone in need or to spread Dr. King's message of nonviolence and work for peace in our community and in the world. The students and faculty of the Oak Park School District have worked very hard to honor Dr. King and his legacy with their gifts and talents. And while there will be events held today all over the country, our celebration will be among the finest. So sit back, relax, and enjoy our program. And again, thank you for being with us here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Warren. Okay, I'm going to say it. Everyone is here today, the choirs, dance teams, the bands, and much more. I'm going to stop. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's keep this celebration moving. We will now hear from a representative from the office of Senator Gary Peters.
Good morning. Well, first I want to thank the District of Oak Park for inviting us out and having us here. My name is James Jackson. I'm Regional Director for United States Senator Gary Peters, who couldn't be here but wanted me to make sure that I came and sent his regards on this holiday. And I'll have to tell you, I will have to speak to the superintendent afterwards about having me follow that performance. They were amazing. And it's, give it up for them. The one thing I can say about coming to Oak Park for Martin Luther King Day is that every year, this is how I start my morning. And I have a number of events to go to, but I make sure that when I can come to Oak Park, I do, because as we've all seen, they bring it every single year. Again, it's an honor to be here, and what I want to just share a few thoughts on is keeping the promise, which is the theme for today. And, you know, there may be some in the audience, some of the younger students, and possibly some of the adults that say, what is this promise? What is the promise that should be kept? When Dr. King spoke during the March on Washington, he made reference to the promise. He made reference to all that gathered there. They were gathered there to cash a check that the government has written, that America has written to them. And that was a check that is laid out in, that promise is laid out in the Constitution of the United States. And it says that we all have inalienable rights, the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that all men and women are created equal. And so on that day, they went to Washington to cash that check. And that's a check that we're still trying to cash to this day. And there's a lot of work to be done to do that. Since that March on Washington, we've seen a lot of progress, and we've also seen some setbacks. And it is now our turn to step up and ask for that check to be cashed. And it's the responsibility of all of us in this room. All of us have that responsibility. Those of us in government, those of you who are the heads of your household, that are parents, that are teachers, that are students, we all have a responsibility to make sure that our country holds tight to that promise. Because that promise was made to us. It was made to all of us, not just African Americans. It was made to all Americans. And it is our responsibility to make sure that we hold our country that we love, that we call home, accountable to that promise. And that's a responsibility that we all must do through our daily actions, through what we do on a daily basis. You know, for those of us in government and working in the capacity of lawmakers, we absolutely have a responsibility to make sure that the policies that we support and we push forward are those that promote equality and promote giving the rights to all that live here. We have a responsibility to do that. Those back here in Michigan have a responsibility as well. And so we want to make sure that we're all doing our part to make sure that that promise is kept, not just for us, but for our children. One of the things that I get to do in this job is that I get to travel around, I get to meet a lot of people, but I also get to bring my children with me, who are probably going to be really mad that I'm calling them out right now, but they're used to it. But part of our responsibility is to make sure, and part of my responsibility, not only as an official, but also as their father, is to make sure that that promise is kept to them. And that is a commitment that I take very seriously. And I know that all the parents in this room take that commitment seriously, or else you wouldn't even be here. You wouldn't be here not only to support the students that are performing today on stage, not only to take part in this celebration, but you're also the parents that are there every single day, making sure that your students are up and ready for school each day, making sure they're prepared for their lessons, supporting the school board and the superintendent as they create an environment for learning and prepare all of our kids for their futures. That's our role in keeping that promise. We need to make sure that all of us take up the fight that Dr. King began, to make sure that we do all that we can do to not only support our own families, but our communities, our state, and our nation, to make sure that all Americans are beneficiaries of that promise. That is a promise to us all, and that is a promise that we will make sure is kept. Thank you so very much this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson, for those words of motivation. Now let's get ready to hear from my fellow classmates from Pepper Elementary under the direction of Mr. White.
Broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round.
weren't we? Let's give the choir another round of applause. Thank you. Our next speaker is the esteemed mayor of Oak Park, Mayor McClellan. So let's put our hands together to welcome her to the stage.
Talent comes in small packages, doesn't it? Thank you, honored guests, Dr. Colbert, school board members, principals, teachers, families, and students. I am Marion McClellan, Mayor of the City of Oak Park, and I'm delighted to be here to mark another year to recommit to the goals of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We know if Dr. King was here now, he would be kneeling with the players at the football games. Loretta Lynch, former U.S. Attorney General, an African-American woman, was speaking just Friday at an event honoring Dr. King. She said, "We think the civil rights struggle is over. We elected an African-American president, but we are living it now. This president has reopened old wounds." The Klan and other racists feel free to express their hate again. They are marching with torches to protect white rights. It feels like we've gone back in time. We're in a period of history we thought had been resolved. I demand that our nation continue the march toward equal legal, political, social, and economic opportunity. As a little boy, the age of these talented kids, Martin Luther King couldn't play with his little neighbors anymore because once he started school, he was a different color. At that young age, Dr. Martin Luther King made himself a promise to end unfair segregation, and he lived his life keeping that promise. You are never too young to make that decision. Many in my generation risked their lives to guarantee the rights for everyone to vote. There were laws on the books back in the day that kept people from voting. Poll taxes, phony requirements that you had to say the Constitution, but only if you happened to be black. The Voting Rights Act was passed to end these practices that discriminate against minorities and the poor. But there have been new laws passed to suppress the vote. Politicians choose their districts, so their voters are our majority. Our 14th congressional district looks like a snake. They wanted to get all the Democrats together so that we were limited in what we could do. I believe that Black Lives Matter, and when peaceful protests are held, their purpose is not to gain an unfair advantage, but to demand equal, fair treatment promised by our Constitution, as James Jackson said. Make America great again typically means make America white again. You can't shame these people. Rattlesnakes don't commit suicide. You think that your vote doesn't matter, that all politicians are the same. Does it matter if we have schools for our kids? Does it matter if you can go to college? Does it matter if your grandmother has Social Security? Does it matter if your family can afford to go to a doctor? Does it matter if your mom has a job? Does it matter if tax money goes to the rich who already have too much, or goes to those who need a helping hand? These things are decided by the people we elect. Elect people who support the values you support. Elections are won by a few votes. Your friends vote, your vote. Elections matter, as we've seen this November. Your vote counts. Your vote. I'm looking at you. An election in Virginia was just decided this month. It was lost by one vote. That one vote would have flipped the Virginia legislature Democratic. One person had to get up and say, my vote counts. My vote counts. Remember that. Voting is a habit. You vote because you're used to voting. If you vote only for presidential elections, that's what you do. But I'm telling you, you have to vote for every election, school board, mayor, state legislature, governor. These votes count, people. Drag your friends and neighbors to the polls. What we can do in honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. today is to make some promises to ourselves. Promise yourself, when you're 18, you'll walk across Oak Park Boulevard, bring your student ID, and register to vote. Real simple. Don't be intimidated. Just walk across and show them your ID, say, I want to vote. Promise yourself to vote in every election, not just the presidential. Promise yourself to personally make a difference in your city, your state, and your country. Help a candidate who supports your values. Promise yourself to run for office. Our country needs you now more than ever before. One person can make a difference in the world and stand up for justice. It is our responsibility to be that person. Remember, if you're not at the table where the decisions are being made, you're on the menu.
Good morning. Let's give it up again for the Mayor of Oak Park, Mayor Marion McClellan. A true supporter of what's right, a true supporter of what's in the best interest of all, a true supporter of the city of Oak Park, the schools of Oak Park, those that are serving in different religions, and just a true supporter of all the people, a true reminder of what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stood for. Today is a day of service. What are you doing? Are you giving back? Are you making a difference? Are you really living the dream? Are you keeping the promise? Are you truly doing what is required of us to have a full quality of life? Are we really participating in what Mayor McClellan just talked about, the actual process of being a part of the country? Are we really where we need to be? Are we reading more? Are we informed? Are we using our voices when we should? Did you know that when even you're silent, that is a voice? But is it sometimes needed to make a little noise instead of being silent? Have you really said something or nothing at all? Are you really keeping the promise? My name is Dr. Davita Colbert, and I'm the proud superintendent of the Oak Park School District. I am the proud superintendent of the Oak Park School District. We would like to, for just a really quick few minutes, we need to recognize everyone in the room. First, I want to definitely have all of the staff of Oak Park Schools, every staff person. I see principals in the room, I see teachers in the room, I see paraeducators in the room. Can we have every curriculum division, every staff person in the room? Will you please stand to be recognized? We appreciate you being here. As some people know that the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is called a holiday. But what does that really mean? It means that some individuals do not really have to report to work today. That would be those individuals who actually just stood up. They really do not have to report to work. It's some of the people in the room. If you are federal employees, in most cases, you did not have to report to work. But what are you really doing? Where is your commitment? How are you really making a difference? That's why we needed to recognize those individuals in the room, because they really didn't have to be here. And we appreciate their service. Could you please give it up for my technology team who is around the room really working really hard, trying to make it happen. Then we need every single parent, grandparent, neighbor, friend, godmother, foster parent, everyone in the room who's here because of a child that's on this program, because of a commitment that you have to these children. Please stand. We're gonna give it up for every parent, grandparent, neighbor. Come on, we appreciate you. Come on, give it up for them. We had to drive through a little sleet and snow. Come on. We thank you for your service. We thank you for your service. We really do. I mean, it's dangerous. We appreciate it. I mean, but this is important. It's important that we're here. So I just wanted to say those few things, and you'll see that I am on the program and it calls for closing remarks, so I won't be giving them then because I actually gave them just now. But what you will have at the closing remarks is you're going to have County Commissioner Nancy Quarles is going to come and just give us a few words as we exit the program. Do you all mind? Because we respect every single elected official that's in the room. So I'm going to yield and give my time to Nancy Quarles, if you all do not mind, our county commissioner. All right, we're going to turn it back over to give it up for our phenomenal mistress and master of ceremony. Come on, give it up for these young people.
Thank you, Mayor, for those insightful words. We are truly thankful to have a woman of your conviction as the mayor of Oak Park. Our next performance is by the Oak Park Junior Varsity Band, which is a combination of all three elementary schools, Einstein, Key, and Pepper. So get ready for some sweet sounds.
Again, another magnificent performance. The talent continues to shine bright today in Oak Park. We will now hear from the state representative, Mr. Wittenberg.
Good morning, everyone. I do love seeing all the talent here on the stage. How about another round of applause for the singers, those playing instruments, also the MCs. It's not easy to get up here and speak in front of a group of people, and you guys are doing an awesome job doing that at such a young age. Forgive me, I'm gonna get a little political here this morning. Martin Luther King Jr. Day means more today than at any time in the history of celebrating this great man. It has been 1 year since Donald Trump took office, and our country could not be in more dire straits. Not only is he tweeting dangerous rhetoric that destabilizes relationships with other countries, his derogatory treatment of women, minorities, foreigners, working class people, and countless other groups has caused our country to be even more divided. His actions fly in the face of all the things that Dr. King stood for. King's words, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere," are timeless. For now, sadly, our past seems to be haunting and creeping back to haunt us. The injustice we are seeing on a daily basis is harming our country on global levels and on local levels in living rooms across our nation. Donald Trump's administration, members of his cabinet, and their actions are the epitome of the purveyors of injustice that Dr. King fought against. His targeted actions against immigrants are the antithesis of everything Dr. King stood for. The man that called Mexicans rapists and criminals on the campaign trail and called for a shutdown of immigration for an entire religion is the same man who while in office said that some neo-Nazis and white supremacists are very fine people. And this shouldn't be a surprise to us. This is the same man that bragged about sexual assault and was a defendant with his father in a case back in the 1970s for discriminatory housing practices against black applicants. He uses terms and phrases on Twitter and in official meetings that we don't even want any of our kids to hear. We went from one of the classiest, most decent presidents our nation has ever had to this hateful person with no morality. So where does that leave us? What can we do about it? How can we keep Dr. King's promise? We have to expand our efforts and move forward in a way that defies all things that this president stands for. Now I'm going to take Mayor McClellan's message a little further, that voting is no longer enough. We have to engage with our neighbors. We have to engage with our political organizations. We have to engage and become representatives of a new fight against hatred and bigotry. We need to mobilize. We need to organize. We have to go above and beyond in our communities to make sure those around us know the importance of their activism. Now, if we do these things, then, and only then, will we be able to accomplish the goals set out by Dr. King. Trump has done so much to give aid and comfort to white supremacists. Dr. King's legacy depends on us to live up to his vision for everything that America can become. As a community, we have to do more than talk about the change we need. We have to be the change we need. And I keep this in mind every day in Lansing as I'm fighting for our community and the equality of all the people in our state. And now this is in stark contrast to what is going on at the federal level. Donald Trump and Jeff Sessions are running this country like modern-day Bull Connors. We have to switch gears as a community. We have to come together to oppose every attempt to roll back gains we have made in the fight for social justice. Let's keep this fight going. Let's keep Dr. King's dream alive and well. I will make the commitment to keep his dream alive and to continue the fight for equality. As the quote says, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice, but it can only happen if we help to shape it." Again, I hope you make this a day of action and a day of service and not just a national holiday. I want to thank the Oak Park School District, Superintendent Colbert, and everyone for coming out here today. It's a pleasure to see all of you here, and I really appreciate this opportunity, but I urge you, get out this year. Get out this year and vote. Get out this year, engage your neighbors and your friends and your family, and make a difference. It starts today. Thank you very much.
We will now have the opportunity to see the district building winners from all schools in the district. How this works is each building selects a winner, and then they are videotaped talking about their project.
The difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream.
Good morning, my name is TERAYA Becker and I am in 3rd grade at Key Elementary School. I learned a lot of new things about Dr. King, such as he has influenced my life by teaching me to always do the right thing. I am happy I won because it gives me the chance to celebrate Dr. King's life.
My name is Noah MCKINNEY. I am kindergarten at Pepper School. I learned about Dr. King. He wanted us to be free because he was a good guy.
My name is JAYDEN Smith. I am in 1st grade in Einstein School. I'm glad I won because I worked very hard on my project.
My name is JAVARIE and I'm in the 7th grade. I attend Oak Park Preparatory Academy. I learned about segregation, and Dr. King influenced me because he spoke up for what he thought was right. and I'm glad I won because it gives me great recognition.
My name is NAYEA Watson. I am in the 9th grade and I attend Oak Park Freshman Institute. I learned a lot about Dr. King, such as he was a strong and mindful leader. Dr. King influenced my life because I want to help people realize that they are strong and intelligent. Also, I want the children to continue his dream and continue to be great. I am glad I won this award because I learned a lot about being a leader and that you can fight with your wisdom and not your hands.
My name is JAYDEN Howard. I'm a 12th grader and I attend NOVA Discipline Academy. Dr. King has taught me a lot, such as although we all may be different, we should always band together as one as a human to face whatever trials come our way together as a people. Dr. King has influenced my life a lot by teaching me that although we all have our different backgrounds, our different histories, and no matter what type of area or way of living we come from, it doesn't matter because we should always stand and be united. I'm glad I won because I get to share not just my ideals, but his ideals and our similarities with the rest of the world.
My name is Isaiah Dye. I'm an 11th grader and I attend NOVA Discipline Academy. What I've learned from Dr. King is that segregation and racism can destroy communities. Also, I'm influenced by him because he's very intellectual and he's a major figure. I'm glad we won because we can show our appreciation with our performance.
My name is Rachel Starks. I'm in 11th grade at Oak Park High School, and I learned that Dr. King was an activist in the civil rights movement. He influenced me because he worked for what he believed in, and I'm glad I won this competition because I got to show my talent in art.
Let them know this is the future. Thank you, parents. Thank you, community. Thank you, children. This is excellence in our presence. Thank you, boys and girls, for your hard work. All right, come on. Okay, you can go back to your seats. Come on. Good job. Good job. Thank you. We just had to call out our children to let everyone see, because really, this is about them. We're planning a future based on our faith and on our hope. All right, Kristen, back to you.
Now I have the privilege of introducing Ms. Taylor from Pepper Elementary, who will present the Keeper of the Promise Award to someone in the district. As Dr. King said, faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. I think this quote embodies this award because the person that wins this award took a step not realizing the impact it would have on us, the students of Oak Park.
Good morning. Each year, an Oak Park school employee or school board member is selected for the Keeper of the Promise Award. This individual is someone who goes above and beyond the call of duty and is admired by others because of their ability to inspire change among staff and students within the district. They are committed to helping others and are frequently contributing to the district and the Oak Park community to support cultural awareness and equal opportunity for all. The individual that has been selected this year was nominated by many of her staff members. This individual is the co-founder of the program, The Ladies of Hope, HOPE, at Oak Park Preparatory Academy. This stands for Honoring Our Personal Expressions. She saw a need for healthy female communication and interaction among the student body. The OPA Ladies of Hope is a female mentoring group designed to foster positive relationships, community service, and communication with and among young middle school ladies. The purpose of this program is to promote hope, honoring our personal expressions with young ladies, by providing students an environment where they can openly discuss relationships, emotions, coping mechanisms, and conflict. The hope is that the mentorship program will confidently influence their lives, the school community, and the school climate as a whole. The Ladies of Hope are also advocates of community outreach. Partnering with Forgotten Harvest, they were able to sponsor a Thanksgiving food drive competition and also adopted a family for Christmas. The goal is to positively impact the OPA community with affirmative and progressive mentorship of young ladies so that all students will want to display qualities of success and encouragement of others. On top of all of that, this is her first year at Oak Park Preparatory Academy, but no one would ever know it considering the commitment she has exhibited not only for her students, but all of her students. She was also nominated and won OPA's first Teacher of the Month award for her selfless dedication to the students. She was described as someone who embodies the same devotion as Martin Luther King to children and help guide them down the right path in life. Her colleagues described her as a passionate and committed educator that truly makes a difference in the lives of her students. They explained that she's a team player with a positive attitude. She is not only positive about her own students, but she's also positive and passionate about all students. She helps give leadership and support to the Ladies of Hope while maintaining all of her other obligations. She goes above and beyond and impacts students inside and outside of the classroom. She is also responsible for coordinating the best and the brightest field trip for sixth graders, which included a trip to the skating rink. The field trip was created to reward students who are doing well both behaviorally and academically. You can always find her smiling in the hallways, greeting her students at the door, and building relationships with children at every opportunity she has. There is no question that she loves her students and is deeply invested in this profession. This woman impacts the physical, emotional, and social well-being of our students. She goes above and beyond for the students and the staff at OPA. She is a true representation of mentoring the young that the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. has left. She puts her whole heart into the devotion of students in Oak Park. It is my honor to present this award to Miss Amber Miller. And Amber, you can feel free to come on up.
I am appalled. I thank the staff and my principal, Mr. Holly, for believing in me. I thank my co-chair, Ms. Prince, for standing by me. I thank my family, who is loud and proud in here, because I had no idea what was going on. I just want to leave a place and stay in a place and make it better than what it was when I came there. And that's what I strive to do, and I will continue to do it every day, and thank you guys so much.
Congratulations, Ms. Miller. Now let's get ready for the award-winning Oak Park High School marching band under the direction of Mr. Goodwine, with accompanying vocalist Miss Washington.
I want to walk worthy, my calling to fulfill. If you order my steps, woo-hoo, I'll do your blessed will. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But you are still the same. If you order, I'll bless your name.
Give it up for them one more time. I also want you all to give it up for Justin Fuller and Christian Akrit, who are Mrs. On behalf of the Oak Park Schools, we are going to allow our county commissioner, again, give it up one more time for Mr. Goodwine and the Marching Legion. Give it up for our songbird, Miss Demetria Washington. Give it up for Mr. Eric Chastain, who's over there, who led us with the saxophone. Let's give it up for every single student and adult performer or speaker today. Let's give it up for everyone who was on the program. Again, we will close with County Commissioner Nancy Quarles.
Good afternoon. This has been a great program. I can't say enough for everything that the staff, the students, the teachers, and of course, the one and only, our superintendent, Dr. Colbert. You know, as I was leaving my house today, one of the pundits were on TV asking, is the dream still alive? And they were saying it with a lot of sarcasm. Is the dream still alive? Of course the dream is alive. Look at our students. Look at this program. Look at the teachers that we have. And two things I want to leave you with. When people, pundits, news are saying that the urban education system is failing, we know it's not. We have the perfect example here at Oak Park Education System. It's one of the best, it's one of the most inviting, it's one of the most inclusive school districts in Oak Park and throughout Michigan. So let's give it up for the school district. And this school district is a perfect example of how Dr. Martin Luther King described education. He said, education is intelligence plus character. It's the goal that all schools should strive for. And with the staff, the administration, the students, and the community, we are doing what we need to do. And lastly, one of the things that our superintendent said earlier is look at how we talk about ourselves. And always remember that we must define ourselves and not let others define us. Thank you. Enjoy Martin Luther King celebration and continue to support this school district. I'm Nancy Quarles, your Oakland County Commissioner.
Thank you. Give it up again. Thank you. Please, everyone, thank you. Please check out the display of art and work and poster boards and writings that are on display for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And please travel safely home. Thank you and have a great day.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners